All right, hello. Thank you all so much for coming. My name is Stephanie, and I teach at the Empower location at Wauwatosa. So today we're going to start off in a comfortable seat. So go ahead, sit however feels good to you. If you have any supports at home, like a blanket or a block that you want to sit on, you're welcome to do so. And then as you're ready, either soften the eyes or close the eyes completely. Inviting a slow, steady breath in and out through the nose. Taking a few moments to ground and center body and mind before we begin to move. So as you settle into the body, feel yourself root down through the base of the spine, lengthening through crown of head and allowing the shoulders to just relax away from the ears. Take time to gently scan the body mentally from head to toe. Noting the sensations that arise, for better or for worse. Trying not to judge or add any labels, just to notice. If there's any areas that feel tense or congested, imagine sending your exhales to those places to allow them to soften, even if just a little bit. Noting the pacing of breath, trying to ease away any jerkiness or pauses, but maintaining a rhythm that feels natural, not forced. Noting connection between breath and body as you feel chest, belly, and all the way into the back expand on the inhales and softly draw in on your exhales. And then finally, take some time to check in with the mind, the headspace that's joining you for class today. Just as we did with our body scan, doing so kindly, without judgment. If there are any thoughts, worries, or plans that are not serving you, see if you can softly set them aside. You can always pick them up later. And then guide the mind's awareness back to your body and to your breath. All right, we'll take a couple deep breaths as a group. So take a full deep inhale through the nose, filling belly, chest, and into the back. Then exhale, feel free to make some noise as you sigh out the mouth. We'll do two more like that. Full deep inhale through the nose, filling into belly, chest, the sides and the back. And then exhale, sigh to let it go. Good, one more like that. Fullest, deepest inhale yet. Imagine filling the entire torso with air. And then let it go. Good, resuming your natural breath in and out through the nose. And if you're not already in a comfortable cross-legged seat, go ahead and find a cross-legged seat. The hands can relax to the knees, the thighs, the shins, whatever's available to you, keeping the eyes soft or closed. As you inhale, slowly circle the body forward, so slight sway back, rocking forward with rib cage, and then exhale, complete that circle as you lean back, rounding spine. So inhale, coming forward, leading with the heart, slight sway back, and exhale to round the spine. Okay. Continue this motion at your own pace. This can be as slow or as quick as you like. Feel free to keep the eyes closed and allow the head to move organically with the rest of the body. Then slowly change the direction of the circle. So today, as we flow through class, I'm going to be telling a story. Because who doesn't love a story? And one of the main characters of our story is a Hindu deity named Shiva. And so Shiva's an interesting guy. He's known as the destroyer, which sounds ominous, but there's a lot of positive to that. Because Shiva destroys things in order for new things to be created. Take one more circle like this. And then slowly come back to center. Rooting down through base of spine. Inhale, sweep the arms high and wide, maybe gazing up as well. And then exhale, bring the hands behind you. Fingertips can touch the floor. Maybe the palms reach down if you've got the space. Roll the shoulders back and lift head and heart. So Shiva happens to also be pretty much the inventor of social distancing. He likes to spend a lot of time high in a mountain meditating, sometimes for thousands of years at a time. So he's rather aloof. Good. Inhale, slowly rise up. Release the hands, lean back enough where you can switch the crossing of the legs, the way that feels non-habitual. Continuing to root down through spine. Inhale, reach the arms high and wide. As you exhale, bring the left hand to right knee, reach up and over with the right arm. So feel yourself sink low through that right hip. Take an inhale here. Next exhale, right hand lands to left knee, hinge forward, arms stay crossed. As you inhale, keep the arms crossed, rise up. Hands can either come to the shoulders, or if it's available, you can come to eagle arms, lifting the elbows to the sky. The next exhale, hinge forward, bowing down. Inhale, rise up, unbind the arms, sweeping arms high and wide. Exhale, right hand to left knee, reach up and over with the left arm, feeling that left hip sink low to the earth. Good. Next exhale, left hand lands to right knee, hinge forward, little fold. Inhale, rise up, hands stay crossed and either come to the shoulders or you can interlace in eagle arms, reach the elbows to the sky. And then exhale, hinge forward, little fold. Good. Inhale, rise up, unbind the arms, sweep the arms high and wide. And then exhale, bring hands behind you. Once again, palms can either land to the earth or fingertips are fine. Roll shoulders back, lifting head and heart, gazing upward. As you exhale, put just a little bend into the elbows. So slightly different stretch for the shoulders. Good. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then roll over the legs, coming to hands and knees, tabletop position. Okay. If you need any cushioning under the knees, if you've got a blanket or towel at home, you're welcome to slide that underneath. Otherwise, you can take fingers underneath the mat, slide it over that way to create a little extra cushion. Okay. Want to bring wrists below shoulders, knees below hips, relax tops of the feet to the earth. As you inhale, lower the belly, lift head and tail, coming to a sway back. And then exhale, press the floor away, round the spine, chin comes to chest. Good. Inhale, dropping belly, lifting head and tail, coming to our cow stretch. And then exhale, press floor away, navel to spine, chin to chest, cat pose. Good. Continue this flow at your own pace, this Virabhadrasana cat-cow flow. Again, this can be as slow or as quick as you'd like. And you're welcome to invite any other movement that feels good. So maybe some barrel rolls with the chest or some big circles with the body. Eyes can stay soft or closed, allowing these movements to feel natural as you continue to warm. So in addition to Shiva, our next character is Sati, who is a human girl. And as Sati was growing up, she was very incredibly devoted to Shiva. So she prayed to him daily. And as she continued to grow older, she actually fell in love with Shiva. Take one more cycle of breath like this. And then slowly come back to neutral. Knees can come together or wide as you press back to child's pose. So hips come to heels, lowering forehead toward the earth. Arms are welcome to extend in front of you or come to the sides. If forehead doesn't touch the earth, no problem. You can relax it onto stacked hands or stacked fists, but we want the face, the neck, and the jaw to stay soft. Know that this position, this pose, this child's pose is always available to you at any time. Take a full deep inhale through the nose, filling belly, chest, and all the way into the back. And then exhale, sigh out the mouth to release. Slowly make your way back to your neutral tabletop position. So wrists returning below shoulders, spreading all 10 fingers, pressing into the mat. Step back 1 foot at a time, come to plank pose. So full body parallel to the floor. So press the floor away, so slight dome in the upper back, better than allowing hips to sag low, lengthening through the crown of the head and all the way through the base of the feet. Good, another full deep breath here if you can, but lower at any time that you need. Good, take another inhale here. Then on your exhale, slowly transition back to downward facing dog. So sending the hips back, backs of the thighs toward the back of the mat. Maybe it's your first down dog of the day, the week, the month. Either way, take some movement. Feel free to pedal out the feet, maybe nod head yes, shake head no, open and close the jaw, wiggle the tail, whatever feels good. And then come to stillness, just pressing backs of thighs, back behind you, moving the eye gaze either between the feet or maybe even up between the thighs. Imagine spreading the mat between the feet, firing up thighs. Good, full deep breath here. We're gonna flow forward and back between plank and down dog. You are welcome to drop to knees and take cat-cow at any time if you wish. Otherwise, as you inhale, slowly rock forward to plank. Good. We'll hold for a full breath. Then on your next exhale, slowly transition back to downward facing dog. Good. This time we're gonna hold on the inhale. Then exhale, slowly transition to plank. Press floor away on the inhale, and then transition back to down dog on the exhale. Okay. So continue that a few more times at your own pace. And again, feel free to drop to hands and knees instead. So as Sati, again, the main character of her story, gets older, her father, Daksha, like any good father at the time and the place of our story, wants nothing more than for his daughter to get married. So he decides the best way to do this is to throw a giant party and invite all the eligible bachelors in the area. He does not invite Shiva because he doesn't think Shiva would be a very good match for his daughter. This guy stays in the mountains alone for years at a time. Doesn't seem like a good fit. Okay. Take one more flow like that. And then the next time you come to downward facing dog, we'll hold. Inhale, slowly rock forward to plank. Take your time. Exhale, we'll all lower the knees. Relax the tops of the feet. Elbows stay tight to the body, so smiles of the elbows come forward. Imagine pulling the mat toward you as you lean forward and bend into the elbows, just a little bend. Good, then inhale, press the floor away, straighten the arms. We'll do that 2 more times, feel free to skip. Exhale, drag the mat toward you, bend into elbows. And then inhale, press the floor away. Good, 1 more like that. Exhale, little bend. See if you can hover for a full breath. Then we'll all lower flat to the bellies. Pressing into the mat with the tops of the feet. Hands come under shoulders, elbows by the body. Roll shoulders back as you inhale, gaze out in front of you. And then exhale, lower. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, roll shoulders back. Feet stay on the mat, thighs engaged. Low cobra. And exhale, lower. Good, 1 more like that. Inhale, little lift. And exhale, lower. Take your time to transition back to downward facing dog. Good, again, feel free to take a little bit of movement here if you wish. On your next inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky. And first just hold here for a full breath. Notice how this feels. Okay. Take another inhale here, and then exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward like plank. Hold, press the floor away, feeling strong. And then slow with control, bring that right foot between the hands. If it doesn't make it, no big deal, just drag it on up there. We want to make sure right knee's on top of ankle, track between first and second toe. Back leg straight and strong to start. If you've got blocks at home, you're welcome to use the height. Lengthening through crown of head, full deep inhale here. Then exhale, softly lower that left knee down. Good. You might want to keep the toes curled on that back leg. And if you need extra cushioning, you can take your mat and fold it under sideways or slide a blanket under there if you've got one at home. Good. From here, as you inhale, if it's available, see if you can reach the arms upward. Good. You're welcome to lower hands at any time. So coming into this low lunge shape, again, we want to make sure knees and toes are tracked in the same direction on both feet. Inviting a little engagement through the core, neutral tailbone down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, softly hinge forward, reach the arms behind you. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hinge forward. Good. Inhale, rise. And exhale, melt down. Okay. Inhale, lift the arms. So now we've got a slightly different option. Option 1, keep going exactly as you were. Option 2, for a little more strength, keep those back toes curled under. We'll take an inhale here. As you exhale, straighten the left knee as you hinge forward, arms go behind. Then as you inhale, arms lift, left knee drops. Good. Exhale, hinge forward, arms behind, straighten left knee. Good, and then drop the knee, lifting arms up on the inhale. So continue this flow a couple more times at your own pace. Okay. So Daksha throws this giant party. All the eligible bachelors are there. And Sati knows what's going on. But in her heart, she only has one true love, and that is Shiva. Nevertheless, she goes to the party. She even flirts, even, acts a little entertained with some of the other guys. Okay, she just wants to make her father happy. Okay. The next time your knee is dropped, arms are raised, we'll hold here. Good. Keeping that back knee lowered on the floor as you exhale, lower hands to the floor or blocks. Pull the hips back, straightening into that right leg. It does not need to be totally straight, just moving in that direction. Toes can stay lowered or popped up, whatever feels better in your body. Try to keep some length through the torso, so reaching through crown of head. Good. Then slowly rock the weight forward. Plant the hands, curl the back toes under. Send the right foot back to meet the left, coming to plank pose. Pressing the floor away. As you inhale, rock the weight forward. Shoulders go past the wrist, elbows tight to the body. As you exhale, your choice, knees up or down. Chaturanga Dandasana, that tricep lower. Then we're all coming to bellies. Let's come all the way flat to the ground. Pressing into the mat with the tops of the feet so much that the thighs are engaged. Reach the arms behind you, palms face into the body. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, gaze up, feet stay on the floor, so just half locust. And then exhale, lower down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, reach fingers back toward heels, keep the feet on the floor, and then lower down. 1 more like that. Inhale, little lift, just gazing out, so not craning the neck. Good, then lower down. Take your time to transition back to your downward facing dog shape. Again, you're welcome to invite some movement if you wish. Good. On your next inhale, reach the left leg to the sky. And again, first just hold here, finding some stability in this unstable pose. Good, another full deep in-breath here. Then exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward like plank. And again, see if you can hold. Then softly, gently, see if you can bring that left foot between the hands. And again, if it's kind of clunky or if it doesn't make it, no big deal. Use your hands, just drag it on up there. And we want to make sure that left knee's over the ankle, track between first and second toe, back leg straight and strong to start. You're welcome to use hands to blocks. Lengthen through crown of head, full deep in-breath. As you exhale, lower the right knee down. Keep the toes curled if you can. Hands are welcome to stay to the floor for the entirety of this flow. Otherwise, if it's accessible, feel free to reach the arms up. And relaxing shoulders away from the ears. Side to side might feel a bit different in terms of balance. That's okay. Notice. Try not to fixate. Good. Take an inhale here. Exhale, hinge forward, reach the arms behind you, so little bow down. Inhale, sweep the arms up, feeling strong and rooted through the legs. And then exhale, hinge forward, arms behind. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms, gaze up. Exhale, melt down, little fold. Good. Inhale, reach fingertips to sky. This time, if you'd like that little extra challenge, keeping back toes curled, take an inhale here. Exhale, hinge forward, straighten right leg as arms go behind. As you inhale, lower the right knee, arms lift. So exhale, hinging forward, straightening right leg, bow down. Inhale, lowering right knee, lifting the arms. So continue either of those flows for a few more rounds. So again, Sati is meeting the other bachelors. She's being very charming. Her father is very pleased with how it's going. And at the end of the party, it's time for her to make her choice. And tradition is that Sati has a garland around her neck, and whoever she chooses to be her partner, she's going to take the garland and put it around their neck. Okay. The next time you come with your knee lowered, arms raised, we're going to hold here. Okay. So Sati comes to the middle of the party, says, I've made my choice. She throws her garland up in the air, and as it's in the air, she invokes the name of Shiva, who comes down. The garland wraps around his neck. Okay. Take another inhale here. Exhale, lower the hands to the floor or blocks, pull the hips back, straightening into that left leg. Again, does not need to be totally straight, just moving in that direction. Toes can stay lowered or curled. Keep the spine long. So Daksha, Sati's father, feels a little bit deceived. This is not one of the eligible bachelors that he had vetted. This isn't what he wanted. But he respects tradition. So he agrees and holds a wedding for Sati and Shiva. Inhale, come forward, bending into that left knee, lower the hands, curl the back toes under. Left foot travels back to meet the right, coming to plank pose. Inhale to rock the weight forward, shoulders go past the wrists. Exhale, your choice, knees up or down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to the back bend of your choice, so up dog, cobra, or maybe that half locust pose again. Then as you're ready, transition downward facing dog. Good, again, a few slow, steady breaths here. Take a full deep inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, soften the knees, bring the feet to the hands. So walk, step, hop, float, whatever serves you best. Coming forward to your forward fold. Keeping the knees as soft as you need. Fingertips can graze the floor. You're welcome to grasp elbows. We'll take a couple breaths here first. Then release the hands to the floor or blocks if you haven't already. Inhale, halfway lift. So fingers to floor, blocks, or shins. Heart is parallel to earth. And then exhale, forward fold. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift, gazing out. And exhale, fold. Good, 1 more like that. Inhale, halfway lift, strong, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Either walk the hands up the legs or sweep the arms high and wide, but take your time. Come to stand. And then exhale, float the hands to heart. Before releasing to the sides, coming to mountain pose. So feet about hip distance apart, rooting down through soles of the feet, pulling up through thighs. Relaxing shoulders down so that they match over the hips, knees, and ankles. And then pulling the chin slightly back so ears track as well. Hands can come slightly forward. A little bit of engagement with the belly. Couple of slow, steady breaths. So Sati and Shiva are now married, and they return to the top of Shiva's remote mountain, where they initially lived in marital bliss. Good. A full deep inhale through nose, and exhale to release. Then walk the feet a little bit closer toward one another. Feel free to keep the feet continue to be parallel, and we're going to sit back like we're sitting in a chair. Good. Hands are welcome to come to hips, to heart, out in front of you, or up where biceps frame the ears. But we want most of the weight toward the back half of the feet. So feel free to even lift and wiggle the toes. Test yourself. Then allow the hips to drop a little lower as the heart rises a bit higher as you wrap the low ribs in. So staying engaged through the core, protect the low back. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, take a step to the right with your right foot and reach the arms behind you. Inhale, arms reach up, right foot steps into the left. And then exhale, left foot steps to left, arms go behind you. Good. Inhale, left foot to center, arms up. Exhale, step to the right, arms behind. Okay. So continue this side-to-side motion in your chair. This can be as fast or as slow as you'd like. This can also be as big or as small as you'd like. So if you've got a little more energy, maybe this is a really quick flow. Good. Completely up to you. So Sati and Shiva are happy at the top of their mountain, but Daksha, Sati's father, is not very happy. He feels tricked. This Shiva guy is not what he wanted for his daughter. So he's planning to plot some kind of revenge, even if it's a touch passive-aggressive. Take just one more flow side to side. And the next time you come to center, we're going to hold here. Another full deep in-breath. Legs are feeling really warm. As you exhale, we're going to bring that left foot back. So take a big step back, coming to your crescent lunge. You want to make sure you keep that nice bend in the right knee so knee stays over the ankle. Track between first and second toe. Back leg straight and strong. Neutral tailbone down, and imagine guiding the top hip points up. Just reaching the arms to the sky. A couple of full, slow, steady breaths here. Good. Staying equally strong through both feet. Take an inhale, shining the fingers upward, and then exhale, bend the elbows, reach the heart to the sky. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows, shine the heart upward. Good. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, bend elbows, lifting heart. Good. Inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, and then see if you can hold when the chest is parallel to earth. So pull that right hip slightly back, lengthening through crown of head. So we're not moving terribly quickly, but still lots of challenge for strength and for balance. Staying strong and engaged to that left leg. One more inhale here. Then exhale to lower the hands to plant the right foot. Good. Send the right foot back to meet the left, coming to plank pose. Feel free to take a vinyasa, whatever that means to you today. Also feel free to skip. So maybe you take a few rounds of cat-cow, maybe you come to child's pose, or meet us in downward facing dog. Good. Take another full deep breath here. And exhale to let it go. Inhale to reach the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward. Little hover here first if you can. Then bring the right foot between the hands. And again, if it doesn't make it, no big deal. Use hands, give it to some help. From here, take the left hand to the inside of right foot, either directly on the floor or on a block. And as you inhale, reach the right arm up, stacking shoulders, little twist. Good. Exhale, take the right hand down, pull the hips back, straightening into right leg. Again, feel free to use height if you need. Good. Inhale, rock the weight forward. We're going to plant the hands and then slowly step that left foot up to meet the right. We're going to come into this really low like toe balance. So coming up on the toes and then take the hands to just wrap around the knees. Okay, so giving yourself a little hug. Good. Another full deep in-breath here. Then release the hands and the heels to the floor and relax into your forward fold. Okay. Taking a few breaths, feel free to grasp opposite elbows, sway side to side. You know, I had recently vowed to stop saying opposite elbows because you can't grab your same elbow. And I just violated it. Okay. So Daksha decides the best way to show his displeasure at Sati and Shiva getting married is to throw another party and invite everybody that he knows except for Sati and Shiva. Okay. The ultimate diss. Go ahead, release the hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift to gaze out. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, root to rise. Hands walk up the legs, or they can sweep high and wide, whatever serves you best. And then lower the hands to the heart for a few breaths, staying strong in your mountain pose, coming back to your body and breath. So Sati eventually hears the news that her father is throwing this giant party and that she and her husband were not invited. And at first she feels really sad. But then her sadness also transforms to anger. Go ahead, release the arms down, bring the toes a bit closer toward one another, feet parallel. Exhale, lean back, coming into your chair. Good, most of the way toward the back half of the feet. Maybe you play with lifting and wiggling toes. Elevating the heart, lowering the tail, and wrapping the low ribs in. Take an inhale here. Exhale, take a step to the right, arms go behind. Inhale, step to center. Exhale, step to the left, arms go behind. And then inhale, step to center. So again, continue this flow at your own pace. This can be really small, so maybe it's really subtle. Maybe you just go just a ½ inch. Otherwise, it can be really deep, really dynamic. So it's completely up to you. So Sati, again, at first is sad, but then she gets angry. How could her father do this? How come he can't understand that she's happy and this is what she wants? And how could he disrespect her and her husband like this? So she decides she's going to leave the mountain and come down to the party to pay her father a visit. Okay. Take just one more side to side. And as you come back to center, we'll hold here, full deep inhale. As you exhale, left foot stays where it is, big step back with the right foot. So again, check that alignment. So wrap the low ribs in. Imagine guiding the top hip points to the sky, neutral tailbone down. So this will help protect the low back. Good, stay strong equally through both feet. Take an inhale here. Exhale, cactus the elbows wide, lift the heart. Good, inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, cactus elbows wide. Good, inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, cactus wide. Good, inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, hinge forward. Again, hover halfway if you can. Lower at any time if you need. Pull that left hip back, lengthening through crown of head and fingers. Keeping the belly off the thigh if you can. Just one more breath. Then lower the hands to frame the left foot. Step left foot back to meet the right. Feel free to take a flow. Again, whatever that means to you today. But also feel free to skip. So taking the movement or non-movement of your choice. Letting this decision be driven by your body and your needs and not your ego. So Sati comes down to earth to her father's party. And she walks up to her father and looks him in the eyes. Says, how could you do this? How could you hold this party and not invite me or my husband? This is really disrespectful. He looks at his daughter, and he feels sad that she's sad, but sticks with his decision. Inhale, reach the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward. Again, bring left foot between the hands, giving it help if you need. Good. Hands stay to floor or blocks. Bring right hand to the inside of that left foot. And inhale to reach the left arm up, so taking a twist. Still feeling engaged through both legs. Exhale, slowly lower the left hand down, hands to floor or blocks. Feel free to invite some height. Pull the hips back, straightening into that left leg. Staying long through the spine. Know that that left leg does not need to be totally straight. Just moving in that direction. Good. Slowly lower the hands. Take a bend into that front knee. Take the back foot to step up to the front foot. Now we're going to come back to that little toe balance, just using the hands to wrap around us. Give yourself a little hug. Just a little bit of compression into the belly, a little strengthener for the toes, for the calves. Trying to keep the face and the jaw soft. So Sati, seeing that her father is sticking with his decision, is truly heartbroken. Release the arms down, release the heels, come to standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze out. And exhale, lower. Inhale, root to rise, hands walk up the legs or sweep high and wide. Again, your choice, but take your time. And then exhale, float the hands to heart before releasing to the sides. Sati becomes so overcome with sadness and rage that she bursts into flames. Inhale, reach the arms high and wide. And then exhale, cactus the elbows, lift the heart up. So Sati burns, self-immolates. It's a big word for today. Great word. Good. So self-immolates, turns into a pile of ash on the floor. Talk about a party killer. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze out. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, move through a vinyasa. Otherwise, again, feel free to give yourself permission to skip. Take a posture of rest. Otherwise, taking a few rounds of cat-cow will invite some movement, but not as much heat. Then we'll all meet in child's pose for a few breaths. This child's pose can be knees together or knees wide. Arms can relax however you wish. Maybe you invite a little bit of movement, rocking and swaying side to side, massaging hips or shaking the head no, massaging forehead into earth. Stay for just one more breath. Then as you're ready, transition back to downward facing dog. Inhale to reach the right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward. Again, a little hover here first if you can, before bringing that right foot between the hands. Give it help if you need. Take an inhale here. Exhale, spin the back heel down, creating your heel to arch alignment. So preparing for warrior two. Right heel lines up with that left foot arch. Feeling strong equally through both feet. Either walk hands up legs or cartwheel the arms up and over. Checking that strong alignment, making sure you can still see that front big toe. If not, you might need to rock right knee a little to the right. You Making sure knees and toes are tracked in the same direction, and then lengthening the arms out only if it's accessible. Maybe gazing over front fingertips as well. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, slowly bring hands to heart as you straighten the right knee. And then inhale, press the arms away, bending into that right knee. Good. Exhale, straighten the leg, hands to heart. And then inhale, pressing the walls away from you as you bend into right knee. Continue that flow a few more times. Shiva, from the top of his mountain, immediately knows something is wrong. A faithful servant comes and lets him know that his wife has self-immolated in the middle of her father's party. And he's heartbroken. But he is not known for being a very forgiving guy. He becomes very angry. Okay. Come back to your neutral warrior two, lengthening through the arms, and then reach the arms to the sky. Good. In a fit of rage, Shiva rips out one of his dreadlocks and then hurls it to earth. Good. Exhale, slowly hinge forward, coming to a bow to the inside of your warrior two stance. So still keeping that right knee tracked with right toes, and then walk the hands up to the upper left corner of the mat as you take a little bow down. Then slowly walk the hands over to frame the right foot, spin onto the ball of the left foot. Take the right foot back to meet the left, coming to plank pose. Feel free to flow or feel free to skip, maybe just meeting us in downward facing dog. If you're opting for those vinyasas, inviting a full inhale or full exhale for each pose. Take your time. Right. Inhale to reach the right leg skyward. Exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward, pull the right foot between the hands. Good. Spin the left heel down, slightly shorter stance, so preparing for warrior one. So feet hip distance apart, if not a little bit wider. So you're welcome to walk that right foot a bit further toward the right, back toes at like a 45-degree angle. Front knee is soft as you slowly rise up to your warrior one. And again, if this feels unstable, move right foot further toward the right. Good. Pulling the low ribs in, neutral tailbone down, reach the arms to the sky. Good. So Shiva's dreadlock snakes all the way down to earth and then pops up right in the middle of the party, right amongst Sati's ash, and arrives in the stance of a warrior. So this is our warrior one shape. Maybe you bring your palms to touch, pulling the biceps back, and then maybe you lift heart, gazing upward. Good. Exhale, slowly lower the hands to hips. Use hands to hips for a little stability. That right foot's going to stay where it is. Open the stance wider. So coming to warrior two, turning back to that Virabhadrasana 2 shape. So now we've got that right heel lined up with the inside of that left foot, so that arch. And then lengthen the arms wide. Okay. So our warrior, after busting through the floor, takes out his sword and then chops off Daksha's head in a fit of rage. And you thought self-immolation was a party killer. Boy. Good. Full deep inhale here. As you exhale, take left hand, drop it by the left hip, and spin onto the ball of the left foot. So coming to your crescent lunge. Take your time with that transition. Good. Full deep inhale here. Good. As you exhale, we've got a couple different options. So you have an option to come to warrior three. So option one, maybe you just kick off that back leg, bring full body parallel to earth. Option two, if that's too much, you're welcome to lower the hands and make this more of a standing split. Okay, so coming to your version of Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3, hands are welcome to stay to heart or behind you. Feel that left hip drop slightly, toes facing toward earth. If it's accessible, maybe reach the arms out in front of you as if you were picking up Daksha's head and putting it on a stake in the middle of the party, because that's exactly what the warrior did. Okay. Full deep inhale. Exhale, lower the fingertips to the floor, lift the left leg high, standing 90-degree angle, because splits is a lie. For most people. Maybe it isn't for you. If so, there are no bonus points. Good. One more in-breath. Exhale, soften the right knee, walk the hands back, lower left toes to the floor. Good. Step the right foot back to meet the left, coming to plank pose. Again, feel free to flow, but also feel free to give yourself permission to skip. Good. Inhale, reach the left leg high. And then on your next exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward, guide that left foot between the hands. And again, feel free to give it some help. As you're ready, spin the back heel down, creating your heel to arch alignment, so preparing for your warrior two stance again. Then either walk the hands up or cartwheel the arms up and over, warrior two. Good, nice deep bend in that front knee, but make sure knees and toes track in the same direction, both feet, and that you can still see that left big toe. Gazing over front fingertips only if it serves you. Take an inhale here. Exhale, hands to heart as you straighten the left knee. And then inhale, lengthen arms, bending into left knee. Good, exhale, straightening leg, hands to heart. And then inhale, growing the arms long. Good, continue that flow at your own pace. So, in this story, anything can happen. And it does, because Sati, spirit, sees what happened to her father and becomes so upset that she dons a new body, comes right back to the party, and gets up in our warrior's face. Good. So we're going to come back to our warrior two pose and hold. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, slowly hinge forward to the inside of the left foot. And then see if you can walk the fingertips up toward the upper right corner of the mat. Just a little bow down with our warrior two legs. Walk the hands over to frame the left foot, spin on the ball of the right foot. Then step left foot back to meet the right, plank pose. Again, feel free to flow, but also feel free to skip. Maybe you take a posture of rest. Good. As you're ready, coming to downward facing dog, inhale the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, rock the weight forward so foot comes between the hands. Spin the back heel down, slightly shorter stance. So feet are at least hip distance apart, if not wider, back toes like 45-degree angle. Either walk hands up the legs or reach the arms up. So coming to warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Again, making sure knees and toes, same direction on both feet. Not worrying about guiding both hips to center. Okay, so feel free to allow them to come off at an angle. Good, reaching the arms up. And then if it's comfortable, maybe the palms touch, biceps pull back, lifting head and heart just slightly. Good, so Sati yells at the warrior, how could you do this? Yes, my father wronged us. He should have invited us to the party. That was really hurtful. But an eye for an eye is never an okay way to be. Good, another inhale here. Exhale, hands to hips. Widen the stance, so send that right foot further back behind you. And make sure left heel lines up with that right foot arch. Lengthening arms out to the side, warrior two. Maybe you gaze over the left fingertips if it's accessible. Sati said, you better fix this, and you better fix it now. Good, full inhale. On your next exhale, take the right hand, drop it by right hip, spin onto the ball of the right foot, come back to that crescent lunge. Again, pulling low ribs in, protect the low back, so neutral tailbone down. Well, Sati's so upset that Shiva can hear this from his mountain and goes, oop, better come down and fix this. Exact quote from the story. So he comes down to earth, comes to the party, he waves his warrior away. He goes, I got this. He goes, you're right. I see what I did, that was too rash, I'll fix it. So he quickly runs out to the forest. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, again, option one, maybe you step up to your warrior three. Otherwise, you're welcome to lower your hands down to come to that standing splits a bit early. So if in your version of warrior three, make sure that that right hip drops slightly, so that hips are more in line, and then right toes guide toward the earth, staying long through that right heel. Hands can come to hips, at heart, or maybe reach out in front of you as if you had just found a goat and said, this will do for a new head for Daksha, and then cut it off, and then reattach it to Daksha's body, because that's what Shiva did. Good. Exhale, slowly lower the hands to the floor. Kick that right leg high to the sky, standing 90 degree. So now Daksha has a head of a goat. Shiva takes a great big in-breath, then uses his power to exhale life back into Daksha's body. Good. Slowly soften into that left knee, lower right toes to earth. Feel free to move through one final vinyasa or meet in child's pose. So again, taking the movement or non-movement that serves you best. Those of you at home, it's a little toasty in here. I keep dabbing myself, just inviting the heat into your house. Okay. You can imagine you're toasty with us. Good. So whenever you're ready, just making your way to your child's pose or a comfortable shape where you can rest the face, the jaw, the neck. Feeling the breath slow and steady a bit. Then if it's accessible, reach the arms out in front of you. Walk the hands off the right side of the mat until you feel a stretch in the left side body, and then lower down. This can be really subtle, so maybe it's just an inch or two. Feeling expansion in that left lung, the left side. So even though now he has the head of a goat, Daksha is so happy to be alive once again, to be with his friends and his family. And he shows Shiva his gratitude by saying, thank you so much for doing this. Please let me make it up to you by throwing a third party. So that's always the answer. And this time you and my daughter Sati, in her new body, will be the guests of honor. Good. Slowly guide the fingertips to center. And then exhale, walk the fingertips off to the left side of the mat, again bowing down to your level of comfort. Shiva, of course, accepts. So he and Sati are now the guests of honor of a third and the best party that they've had yet. And Shiva also apologizes to Daksha, saying he recognizes that he lost his head, no pun intended, maybe. Acted a bit rash. And they're glad that they were able to reconnect and now be together as a family. Slowly walk the hands back to the center of the mat. Then take your time to come forward to your belly. Keeping the toes on the earth about hip distance apart, maybe even a little wider. We're going to walk the hands forward so that the elbows come beneath the shoulders. Good. So coming up to a Sphinx pose. Just gazing up and out, so slight lift in the heart. Okay. We're going to keep the toes firmly planted on the earth and invite a little core work if you'd like. Take an inhale here, then exhale, slowly begin to round the spine as you lift the navel, then the low belly, then the hips, and then the thighs off the earth will hold. And then exhale, reconnect the thighs, hips, belly, and navel to earth, lifting up. So inhale to hold. Exhale, slowly peel away the belly button, lower belly, hips and thighs as you lift. Next, exhale, reconnect the thighs, hips, belly, and then gaze up. We'll do that just one more time. So exhale, rounding spine, peeling away the navel. Good. Slowly coming up to the knees. Inhale to hold. Exhale, take your time to reconnect. Good. Just gazing out in front of you. Full deep inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower down to the mat. Just lower one of your cheeks to the earth. Good. Slowly guide the gaze back to center. I'm going to bring the feet a little bit closer toward one another. Extend the arms down to the sides, palms face in. Roll the shoulders back. lifting head, heart, and arms, and then maybe legs if it's accessible, coming to locust pose. Just soft gaze out in front of you. Good. We'll hold for just 2 more breaths. Then when you're done, go ahead, lower down to the other cheek. From here, take as many steps as you need to come onto your back. So maybe you just roll directly on your back. Otherwise, if it freaks you out to have your head facing this direction instead of the other direction, feel free to reorient however you wish. Whenever I offer that, I'm always curious to see what people choose. Like, oh, my head can't face that way.
It freaks me out.
Freaks you out, that's okay. And that is definitely the technical term is...
Stand there, everybody else is kind of
As a follower. Good. So come onto your back, knees bent, soles of the feet about hip distance apart, heels relatively close to the seat. Relax the arms to either side, palms face down. As you inhale, slowly lift the hips just halfway for this first round. And then exhale, just to slowly reconnect the back body to earth. Good. Inhale, lift the hips a little bit higher. And then exhale, slowly reconnect back body to earth. One more like that. Inhale, this time lift the hips as high as is comfortable for you, coming to your bridge pose. Keeping the neutral eye gaze toward the sky. You can stay as you are. You can roll the shoulders underneath the back, maybe interlace the fingers. One more cycle of breath. Then slowly reconnect the shoulder blades to the earth if they were rolled under, and 1 vertebrae at a time on the exhale, reconnect the upper, the middle, the lower back, and then the hips to the earth. Good. Walk the feet about as wide as the mat. Allow the knees to drop in toward one another. And then just bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. So in this story, we learned about how these warrior postures came to be. But did we learn anything else? It had it all. It had love, it had jealousy, it had self-immolation, different heads on different bodies. What else could you want? But there's a yogic message in here too. So we learn that Daksha is judgmental. He judges Shiva without getting to know him, and that gets him in the way of celebrating his daughter's happiness. And then Shiva acts really rash, without empathy, and seeks revenge when he shouldn't have. So thinking about the idea of empathy, of allowing yourself to metaphorically walk in someone else's shoes, to offer up a little understanding and some selfless love and empathetic joy towards someone else. So the idea of feeling joy through the joy of another. Think about whatever that means to you, however that may resonate with you and your life as we take a full deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale to sigh out the mouth, to let it go. Good. Slowly hug the knees into chest. Maybe you take a little movement rocking side to side. And then from here, take any final movements, postures, or clothing or prop adjustments that you enjoy to close your practice. So I know that opens up a lot of choice. But I do that because I want you to connect with your body and think about what your body needs right now. So don't worry about how you may typically close a practice. Use that awareness and that body scan to do what feels best to you. So maybe that's a spinal twist. Maybe that's a longer held happy baby pose. Maybe that's a figure 4 stretch getting into the hips. Allowing these final movements to be intuitive. And if you choose something single directional or single-sided like a twist or a circular motion, be sure to take it in both sides or both directions. And then after you've completed that motion side to side, if you haven't, try to end on a symmetrical note. So something symmetrical like knees to chest or happy baby. Before allowing yourself to open up to whatever Shavasana looks like for you today. So typically cued, legs long, feet flopping open, arms at either side, palms face up, a good position for blood circulation. But you can take any shape that you enjoy, including seated meditation. So taking your time to ease into your Shavasana shape. Allowing the breath to slow and steady. And the heart rate continue to steady as well. Feeling the muscles ease and soften from head to toe. As the bones weigh heavy, supported by earth. Maybe you come back to that idea of empathy or empathetic joy. Allowing yourself to change perspectives and to experience joy through the joy of someone else. Then taking time to just be present, to breathe, and to allow the body and mind to absorb the work you've done today. If you have the time at home to stay in this shape, you're welcome to stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like and are able. Otherwise, if you're ready to slowly come out of Shavasana, begin to bring awareness back to your bodies and breath. Maybe you invite some movement in the muscles if that serves you to reawaken. Then as you're ready, allow the knees to soften enough where you can roll to your side for a few breaths. Either side is fine. Then keeping the eyes soft, slowly make your way back to a comfortable kneel or seat. Feeling yourself root down through the base of the spine as you lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale to reach the arms wide and high, maybe gazing up as well. Then on your exhale, float the hands to heart, tucking chin, bowing the head. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you have a wonderful week. Namaste.
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 All right. Thank you guys for coming and for playing. Again, my name is Stephanie. Stay happy, stay healthy.